good afternoon. Thank you all for coming. We're here on an auspicious occasion because Olga Peters, all the way from Brandenburg in Germany, has written the first write-on novel called A Normal Couple. Anybody who's attempted to write a short story, a poem, or indeed anything at all will realise that it is a daunting task to write a novel of 400 pages. A few of us here have tried, many of us have failed, and some of us are still trying. But Olga Peters, on my left here, succeeded in sitting down and writing this tremendous book. Now you would say, myself as publisher, I would say it's tremendous. The fact of the matter is, a publisher doesn't necessarily have to read the entire book. A publisher does other things like formatting and putting in page numbers and making sure headings are right and so on. And it was only very recently that I read the book for pleasure. And I avoided reading it because it's not my type of book. I'm more interested in crime fiction and plenty of murders and all that sort of thing. And this is just a book about normal people. It's, I didn't think it would capture my interest. But Olga knows at this stage I am absolutely flabbergasted with the writing in the book. It is really, really superb and top class. And those of you who are reading it or have read it will know that you can't help but turn the pages. And that was the same with me. I read it in 3 days, which for me is very, very good going. Okay, Olga stands as our group's vibrant German representative, whose enthusiasm and dedication have shone brightly since she joined Right On. She mastered our website's back end, in other words, the inside of the website, and she keeps the website up to date with weekly posts. Olga has truly become an invaluable part of our community. Her efforts deserve our recognition and a warm round of applause. Okay, you'll be pleased to know there's only one sheet and not at the back, so bear with me. No good with the music. Oh, Elizabeth, any good with the music?
You're working on it.
All right, okay. So this afternoon we gathered to immerse ourselves in A Normal Couple by Olga Peters. It's a narrative set in the challenging years of 1939 to 1941. I forgot in my opening thing to say that not only has she written part 1, but she has planned to write 2 further books, part 2 and part 3, so there's no stopping her. Through the intertwined lives of Leo and Emma against Berlin's ominous historical backdrop, the book explores the enduring human spirit in times of moral conflict. Olga, with her deep familial and academic roots, crafts a narrative rich in complexity, humour and tragedy. The characters of Leo, a musicologist caught in the regime's grip, and Emma, a secretary of strong moral fibre, showcase the varied societal attitudes of their era. Their experiences, along with those of a diverse cast, include Leo's socialist father, offer a multifaceted view of history, emphasising the importance of individual stories against the broader historical canvas. Could you just give us 2 minutes? Thanks, Billy. Olga's own journey from a post-war German childhood to her academic pursuits in Ireland, and finally as a teacher in Brandenburg, shapes this profound narrative. A Normal Couple challenges us to reflect on normality, love and resilience amidst strife, encouraging a deeper engagement with history's complexities. The episodes where Emma and her baby Joe seek refuge in underground stations and cellars during Berlin's bombing are particularly moving. Olga's vivid storytelling transported me into those shelters, sharing the protagonist's fears and hopes in the most chilling account of wartime Berlin I have ever encountered. When I read those sections, I could feel and see and hear and pretend, if you like, that I was in there with them. It is so well described. The good news for fans of A Normal Couple is that this book is part 1. We wait in anticipation for parts 2 and 3 to be published next month and the month after. In welcoming Olga Peters tonight, we're not just celebrating her historical insights, but inviting her to share a piece of her work that bridges our understanding of the past with profound emotional depth. I eagerly look forward to her reading and an extract from her compelling narrative, inviting us all to journey through her meticulously crafted world. All you have to do is look at the bibliography at the back to see the amount of books that were researched, and I'm sure there's more than mentioned in the bibliography, as well as her own knowledge. It is a meticulously crafted world, and it highlights the power of storytelling in understanding our humanity. So let's welcome Olga Peters, whose work offers a profound exploration of history's impact on our collective and personal narratives.
Thank you all very much. First of all, thank you all for coming on this blustery day. I thought in the end there might be maybe 5 people here, and I'd be grateful, so I'm amazed that so many of you have braved the elements to be here. I know it's for the tea and buns, but I mean, it's really very flattering for me and makes me very happy to see you all here, and that I know most of the faces and so on. Yes. This writing this book has been one of the most enjoyable and enjoyable things that I've done, and one of the most rewarding things I've done in my life, I must say. It's based, as probably you know, more or less on my parents' lives, so that there's a lot of my own kind of family research in it, and it's an idea I had at the back of my head for many years, without realizing that I wanted to write about it. And it wasn't until a friend of mine said, join the Write On group, I think you'd enjoy it, and he said it 2 or 3 times before I actually looked at it, and I was immediately hooked. And then wrote a short story, and this Frank Fahy guy, he said, gosh, you're really talented, you must keep going. So of course I believed him, and I went on. And I mean, what he has said about the book now, I must relativize it a bit. For me, this is a hobby. It's an amateur book. I'm an amateur writer. It's the first kind of serious book I've written, or serious work I've written. I'm sure any literary critic would find lots of things to criticize about it. And I was going to kind of go into this a little bit more in detail now, but then I realized Frank was going to go overboard in praise, and if I start saying the book is no good, that'll be saying he doesn't know what he's talking about. So I just accept his praise and say thank you very much, and also all the other people who have been kind enough to say nice things about the book. And at first I said, oh yes, yeah, of course they're very nice, of course they'd never say anything bad about it. But I'm beginning to believe that maybe, there is something in the book which people enjoy. Certainly, as I say, I enjoyed writing it very, very much. I didn't find it difficult. This was so interesting doing the research, finding out all different things, little details that happened at that time. For example, the one little episode where a Japanese conductor wanted to conduct Beethoven's 9th Symphony in Berlin, and asked my father to arrange that. Asked Leo to arrange that. And the response in Berlin was, there's no way a German audience would listen to a Japanese conductor conducting this very German symphony. And it never, and now this information had to be given to this Japanese conductor. Of course, you couldn't say, no, they're not going to listen to a Japanese conductor. And that is an absolute fact. I mean, that happened. And then bringing things like this, which I think make it interesting, and certainly made it very interesting for me to write and bring these things in and just to make the whole thing more lively and gripping. that's really all I wanted to say, I think. My thanks, of course, to Frank and to the whole group for encouraging me. Anytime I read any sections, the response was always very positive. A few people who have pointed out different sections which they like particularly, and if you like, I'll read one of them now. I also wanted to say food plays quite a large part in the book. They're always eating kind of nice German recipes. And a few, I think 2 or 3 sessions ago, Zoom sessions, Frank made a joke and said I'd be bringing recipes with me for them. At that stage, I already had printed the recipes to bring with me. So I do have them in this book. Unfortunately, I was so excited coming here now that I left them back in the flat. I thought I'd try and find a section where the characters are demonstrated, Leo and Emma as themselves, what they're like, and also the atmosphere of the time is captured, the threatening atmosphere where people are afraid to say what they really think, and where there are different clashes of opinion and so on. And as several people have suggested, the section in the train journey. Leo and Emma are traveling by train and in a compartment with other people, and it's a few pages long, but I think it gives quite a good idea of many different atmospheres which appear in this story. So I'll just begin. I hope everybody can hear me. Yes. Yeah? Right, so they reached a second-class section at the same time as an elderly couple. The man was small, with soft cheeks and sunken eyes. The satin collar of his coat was shiny from wear, and the ends of the sleeves had been darned. His wife, her face still pretty and ladylike, held onto a ruffled cashmere shawl wrapped around her head. Her gloves were well worn. On the left side of their coats were the startling yellow stars that had been prescribed for Jews just 3 weeks previously. Leo was bending towards them to help them in when a policeman appeared at his elbow. "You're not helping them into the train, are you, my friend?" he asked. His tone was not unfriendly. "Why, yes, that was my intention," answered Leo. "Now, Grandma and Grandpa, you know you can't take the train on the weekends. You'll have to postpone your trip for during the week. Get in, sir, and I'll help your good wife." And he pushed the old couple aside firmly and turned to Emma. She was too shocked to react, but once in the compartment, she turned to Leo. "They're not allowed to use the train at the weekend? Why on earth not? Can't you do anything?" Other travelers had climbed up, and the compartment was now full. "Jews," said a man sitting next to them shortly. No one else showed any reaction. Through the window, Emma could see the policeman talking to the old couple, bending down so that they could hear him. A second policeman joined them, frowning, and the first man straightened up and pushed the old couple towards the exit. The door of their compartment was slammed shut. A long whistle came from the guard on the platform. The train gave a jerk and started slowly huffing its way out of the station. Other people took their places, but there were no more exchanges beyond a polite hello or goodbye and an occasional Heil Hitler.
Your friend in Germany.
From Interflora. It's from my best friend in England.
Okay, lovely.
She was at school with me in Dublin, and then she's been living in England for much too long. And she has 3 daughters that I'm very good friends with, and and I invited them to come over and so on. So anyway, it's from her.
Oh, that's lovely.
I think you're Paul. You have to shake it.
Here it comes. Ready. Whoa. There we go. Anybody else join in? That's Molly.
Anyone want to toast Jota?
Somebody to toast Jota? Yeah. That's from Molly. Anybody else? Yes? Go. Is that your friend behind you?
Fill them up. We give them up.
Yes, to cheer with you. Okay. Michael?
We'll fill it up, put a drop in it anyway. We give some of that down along the line. That's great.
Okay, those of you who have a glass then, would you raise a glass to Olga Peters? Great achievement. Sideways, another, sideways.
And you follow on the compass, the Jesus word,
And the toast is for my mentor, Frank Fahy. And I have a little present for him. We had a little discussion in the last, we've had a lot of discussions about new technology to do with the internet and IE and EI and IG and all of that and so on. And then I thought, my goodness, if at some stage this whole system breaks down, we get so many missives from Frank online and so on, what will happen to him if the internet doesn't work? So I thought, just so he can keep going, I was in quills, right? And I thought, just to be on the safe side, he should get a notebook and a pen. Very good.
Thank you. All I have to do now is write something. Thanks, Benny. That's very good of you. Thank you very much. Okay, could I now ask for a little bit of to raise the tone a bit? Sorry, Bill. We're going to raise the tone a bit with a bit of Vivaldi from Michael. Michael, if you wouldn't mind, would you?
Here, I'm going to do a little piece in Irish, just to show. So we'll forget about La Traviata and read the Garda. Look. Myri Gummer Majan, Bion Green and Powerloch Patnu, Chulanula Chasu, is Kjol Bin and En, Brick this meal Tekara, Crown and Bavada, Fui Megon Machala, is Lawach Goni Tren. Chonach Ruhr and Garrigus me, Louis Marquis, the span got the looks of Alec, Begar of Aquich Gain. And it's done Kala Yaru, Thrill a meter Chalu, this is Shawnee Queer Alana. Oh, 2 gone game and helicopter, yeah. Just for you. Oh no, my Italian has improved in the meantime, yeah?
I'm not really unhappy, 'cause maybe I'll have me a son, and his mornings will be just as shiny in the morning as the first day the world begun, because it's never too late to start living, to get
Here's the
The
storm.
sun will be just
No, the-
as shiny in the morning as the first day the world began. How do you know it? Sing it. It's never too late to start living, to get up and have some fun. The sun will be just as shiny in the morning